L&T Finance, Raise 24, Reimagining Financial Services with AI. Media partner, CNBC TV 18.
The first edition of L&T's Finance Race 24, India's premier event on artificial intelligence, showcased the transformative potential of AI in the BFSI sector. The event, inspired by the theme Reimagining Financial Services with AI, brought together thought leaders, innovators, and AI practitioners. Through insightful discussions, dynamic presentations, and live demonstrations, Race 24 highlighted the role of AI in reshaping financial services, improving customer experiences, and driving economic growth. The event commenced with the welcome address on Vision 2047, leveraging AI to realize India's Viksit Bharat aspirations, by the non-executive director and chairperson of L&T Finance, who highlighted rural India's digital transformation.
I've been lucky that as part of L&T Finance now, Sudipta takes me to the villages and towns where L&T Finance is present. And it is unbelievably stunning to see the way digital has entered the society. A very low-income, normal lady has the ability to use a smartphone or a normal phone to not only digitally transact, but understand what is happening. There's no man sitting in front of her, no man sitting behind her. She's sitting with 4 or 5 other ladies, and she's able to digitally transact the loan that she wants, including intelligently understanding that what the computer does or what the network is doing is to know herself much better. She is willing to share her passbook, which is also highly digitalized. And it is simply stunning for me that this kind of transformation has taken place. The rural-urban divide, this theory which many of us talk about, is rapidly getting bridged, because as much educated as we are, people there are equally educated, if not better, because of the use of technology. And therefore, this is an astonishing world where if you're not ahead of competition, or if you're not ahead of where you need to be, you tend to lose out. And therefore, if L&T Finance and companies like it has to be at the edge of technology, has to be ahead in their business, has to be relevant in their businesses, even let me put it that way, then they have to adapt to technology like human beings to air and fish to water. I can only say that this is a very relevant topic today, Race 24 and reimagining the financial services with artificial intelligence. I'm really thankful for Sudipta and his entire team to have organized this function, which hopefully is a harbinger for many of these topics. And hopefully, as we go by year, it gets more prominent and more pedigreed people into this conference to address all of you, to make it more relevant, more important, and more sustainable. Thank you all very, very much.
This was followed by a keynote address on making AI work for 1 billion Indians by the CEO of the Reserve Bank Innovation Hub, who shared his insights on AI-driven financial inclusion and the need for equitable digital infrastructure.
In the field, you recruit a new person and somebody comes and asks for a tractor loan. What is the process? How does that person know? You might provide good training, but using great Gen AI tools, your person can answer perfectly. But imagine there's a lady who's 30 years old and a man who's 30 years old with same education, same experience, same income. Have we tried to see whether the chances of the lady's loan getting rejected are high? 100% yes. Why? Because our models are all trained on past data. So can we do something in terms of transparency? Yes, at the national level, at the regulator level, the things will happen. But we should take the first step and actually bring transparency to ensure that the AI models that we use for credit underwriting are taking care of bias. So can we consider creating a public digital infrastructure in financial sector where sample data is available for fintechs to actually reinvent and build models? Together we can make AI work for 1 billion Indians. And it's not just technological. It's the way solution for the people. Imagine if every person in India can access finance in a seamless manner, which can be possible only through AI. So AI, we have to consider it as a bridge and not create a barrier, as sometimes digital has been created as a barrier. So enabler, and by prioritizing user needs, so we can all get there, and in few years down the line, we'll see that access to finance and Raise is a great platform to bring all of this together.
The session continued with thought-provoking presentations on AI's impact. Shuki Idan of SCB DataX talked about the AI advantage, lessons from building a data-driven fintech venture.
The translation was to 5 strategic themes. First is to make a better bank, to make it digital more, to have better loan books, etc. The second pillar is, in fact, creating all kinds of companies that will give financial services, and many of them are doing loans. So each one has its own flavor. We are talking about auto loans in similar ways, like here, you come with a motorcycle or with your car to a branch, you get an evaluation, you get some loan offer based on this evaluation, and you have to leave your title in the shop and walk away with the money.
Kunal Shah of Cred unveiled 10 predictions for a post-AI world.
You already have noticed some interesting frauds that are emerging on AI, but it is just tip of the iceberg. It is going to be extremely scary. I've heard some crazy stories. I've seen a video sent to somebody about their kid being kidnapped in the video of the son and asked for ransom. It's not hard to imagine that you might install an AI software on your parents' phone कि पहले call AI attend करेगा, screen करके फिर parents को देगा. It might just happen. Because in the world of frauds now, the weakest link is now human beings and not technology. We can keep spending on technology and all of that stuff, but the truth is the weakest link is human, who happily gives their OTP away to everybody who calls.
Next, Kedar Kulkarni of Hyperverge explored the fake safe, safeguarding KYC against AI-driven fraud.
Hyperverge has done 1 billion KYC checks. So all of us, when we need to open a bank account or a brokerage account or a credit card, or if we need to, engage in any financial product, I think KYC is a process that we all do. Have you all gone through this process? And you remember how this process used to be a few years back? We would always submit an attested Aadhaar or an attested PAN, and it would take like a couple of days or a day to get those things activated. Today, in fact, if you walk into a telco like a Jio or a Vodafone, there is a 80% probability that by the time you walk out of the store, your SIM card is already activated. Or if you use any of the new age lending apps, or if you use any of the new age brokerages, you will mostly have your loan approved or the account open within few minutes, if not within few hours. So I think that's a process that Hyperverge powers.
Neelkant Mishra of Axis Bank followed with his presentation on the role of AI in economic development, emphasizing AI's potential to enhance productivity across sectors.
When you think about the productivity growths that any technology brings about, so like for AI, there will be improvements in the productivity of individuals. So when I think about myself as a research analyst, I can retrieve information faster. I can write much better, much faster. I can show a chart to Copilot and it will generate text for me. I mean, I don't want to use that text. Very often it's wrong, but that's a good starting point. And then I can distribute much faster. But there is also the pace of diffusion. I mean, how many of the research analysts on the street are going to be using that? So all of this will determine how well AI is, how much of an impact AI will have on economic productivity.
And Professor Ted Selker of Selker Design Research shared his insights on considerate experiences in the age of AI, highlighting the importance of designing AI systems that recognize and respond to human intentions for improved user experience.
L&T Finance, Raise 24, Reimagining Financial Services with AI. Media partner, CNBC TV 18.
The event featured impactful panel discussions, starting with the Charting the First course, Foundational Insights for Leaders and Innovators. This session explored key strategies for leaders and innovators in today's rapidly evolving AI landscape. The Power Panel on Responsible Credit Risk Assessment Innovations with AI featured industry leaders to explore cutting-edge AI solutions, shaping ethical credit risk practices. In the panel titled AI Revolution and the Future of Economy, experts examined how AI is reshaping economic landscapes, driving productivity and fostering innovation across industries. In the next session titled Collections and Recovery, Power of AI to Manage NPAs, panelists explored AI-driven strategies for predictive collections, borrower behavior analysis, and ethical considerations in managing non-performing assets.
The loop of collection activity, the signals that we are getting and bringing it back into sourcing and acquisition underwriting. If that doesn't happen, no matter what AI we may deploy, it's of no use. I think the biggest power that AI can provide is, earlier it couldn't be done because it's too much data to work with. I think the key lie in right technology platforms available for lenders to be able to read, digest the data, build models that can be monitored and that can be deployed to consume faster.
The session on innovating real-time payment processing with AI delved into how AI is enhancing transaction speed, efficiency, and customer experience in the evolving digital payments ecosystem. Next, an illustrious panel on AI, data privacy and ethics addressed the critical need for data minimization, consent-based data processing, and evolving regulations to safeguard privacy and build trust in AI-driven financial solutions.
Savya, I mean, like, what role do you see for industry participants like yourselves in how we can regulate ourselves here?
My point of view there is that minimize the data footprint. That's the first point that we should follow. If we do that, you're pretty much getting closer to adhering to the rules. The next is what kind of data privacy practices that you follow. You should only get the data and process the data for that specific purpose that you have taken the consent for. I think today, the question that is coming is, do we have even the right data structure to measure that? We need to do a lot of work on that as an industry from a financial institution's perspective, but I think everybody is aware and getting there.
I mean, two questions emerged from that, ma'am. I mean, one is on the regulation itself. Are the current regulations enough? Like you mentioned, Copyright Act. Is that good enough, or you think that has to evolve?
It was good enough.
Okay.
Right? It's lasted for about 200 years. But now you have this new animal, which can take what belongs to you, unknown that it is committing a breach. It's in all this world out there with data, which is dumped to be processed. So I think that there will have to be rules which, if your consent is not taken, maybe they go back to you for your consent.
Yeah.
And then you are in a very strong negotiating position, which doesn't help the data fiduciary or the data processor.
Correct.
I think there'll have to be some fair dealing exception. Or now you may have to register your copyright, which earlier you didn't have to do.
Right, right.
The discussion on the business case for AI, maximizing returns through customer engagement, cost optimization and automation, showcased real-world examples of AI's role in fraud detection, hyper-personalization, and operational efficiency.
AI is a huge giant requiring a lot of money. So at every point in time, these gentlemen here have to make the business case. Is it worth the cost, both in terms of effort, in terms of the legal ecosystem that you have to negotiate, and of course, in terms of the returns. So straight away, why don't you all make that case? So in simple terms, Anup, if you can start by saying, give me concrete example where in insurance and banking, you have used it.
So in insurance, for example, we have two large sort of problem statements. One is the whole issue about risk, which is the risk of dying early or risk of living long. They are the two mortality risks. And we have been able to develop good models around it to be able to assess that. And particularly in insurance, there are, again, when you break it up into two things, there is an intent and there is an incidence. Intent is all about fraud, is all about intent. And incidence is the general mortality that if you live, some people will die, some people will live longer, and all of it. So on the intent bit, where there is fraud, we have been able to bring it, use AI models very, very effectively, and it is showing up in the claims, early claims that comes in within first year. The early claims is defined within 3 years, but within the first year, 80% of the claims come, which largely is about intent and fraud. So that has come down quite sharply for us.
Vijay Shekhar, a similar question to you. You are a digital native, so to speak. So give us some examples.
Every human task can be replaced by machine. This is the philosophy that we're carrying with. And I'm sorry to say, I've not been able to find out one task that cannot be replaced. So customer care was the lowest hanging fruit. We've reduced to 1/3 of people with 4 times more traffic, and nearly, surprisingly, customer satisfaction ratios doubling. So it was totally counterintuitive. But in financial system where there is a complexity of agent to understand, the machine agent understands better than replies.
I would expect that Jio Finance is, as the aggressor, has done a lot of new cases of use of technology.
The most exciting part where we're really employing AI is the classic question of Philip Kotler, right? Right product at the right time. So in a world where loans are rapidly getting commoditized, and unlike the situation where when we grew up or when our parents grew up, the number of service providers or issuers of loans is huge. And the customer has many, many options. I think the key to success is to offer the loan at the time, real time, when the customer really needs it. It's also called hyper-personalization. So that's what we're really working on. And the work is progressing very well.
Please go ahead. Sudipto, any one or more cases?
Yeah, actually, we have multiple cases because I believe that we are one of the very first organizations which created a position called Chief AI and Data Officer. Normally, have Chief Data Officer or Chief Data Scientist. We said we want to create Chief AI and Data Officer. And what we have told our teams is that any problem, first look at whether there's an applicability of AI to this problem. It can be a small problem, it can be a difficult problem. I'll talk about a very easy problem. On face of it sounds very difficult, but an easy solution. For example, we are one of the largest microfinance financiers in the country. Now, these women come for group meetings. How do you record attendance foolproof? Right? Now, the fact is that the sales wala, he can just tick, 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 tick. Even if you give him a mobile point radio button, he will push the radio button. 6 women have not come up. 2 women have not come among 6, but we will get 6. Now, what we said was it's simple. Take a photograph. We took the photograph, the field level officer takes a photograph. We upload the photograph. It goes back to their KYCs, picks up their KYC photographs of the women, comes and matches with the photograph and marks auto attendance. Very simple application of image processing based AI.
As part of the event, L&T Finance also announced its strategic partnership with Amazon Pay to develop innovative credit solutions aimed at enhancing affordability for Amazon's eligible customers and merchants. Parallel to the main sessions, participants engaged in hands-on masterclasses led by industry experts on topics such as AI-driven UI design, advanced data analytics, and cloud-based AI solutions. These masterclasses provided attendees with practical insights into leveraging AI technologies to enhance business processes and customer experiences. Race 24 also saw the unveiling of Project Cyclops for L&T Finance's two-wheeler and farm equipment finance businesses. This AI-driven underwriting engine has been developed in-house to assess alternative data and revolutionize lending in both urban and rural markets.
Cyclops, the word Cyclops perhaps conjures up this image of the Greek one-eyed giant that can see everything. In a way, that is a good metaphor, because this engine that we created, it not only looks at this narrow angle of just credit reports, but looks at all sorts of data and tries to understand from them this one-eye focus on how well a customer is going to do, and then what is the right credit offering for them.
Additionally, L&T Finance introduced Knowledgeable AI, or KAI, an AI-based virtual home loan advisor, and launched the Pearl Anniversary Challenge, inviting innovators to predict farmer incomes using diverse data sets like weather, soil quality, and market prices. Race concluded with a vision for the future, a future where AI continues to drive innovation, enhance financial inclusion, and empower individuals and businesses alike. The event reinforced L&T Finance's commitment to leveraging AI as a catalyst for growth and a bridge to a digitally empowered India.
Overall, I think I would like to thank the entire L&T Finance family. Each and every one of you have participated in your own way and given us this extremely sort of well-attended event that we are genuinely proud of. And I'm hopeful that next year, with all your help again, we'll make it bigger and better. Thank you so much.
L&T Finance, Raise 24, reimagining financial services with AI. Media partner, CNBC TV 18.